Hi guys, welcome to the first lecture in the series of data acquisition. In this lecture, we'll be working on with APIs, and this will be the first in the series of API lectures. We'll be working on 3 to 4 tutorials on this APIs. And for this lecture, we'll be working on the movie database or the movie DB website where we'll be creating our account, and then we are going to generate our API key, and we'll use that API key to access the data. In a simple sense, API is like a gateway to get some data from some source, and that source is helping us to create an API or else a gate to get the data. That's it. More detail we can talk it later. And before we jump on to working on the lecture, till now we have done what is machine learning. We have learned what is machine learning, what are the types of machine learning and all the things. And this will be the first lecture in the MLDC life cycle, which is called machine learning development cycle. And the first step in this series is data acquisition. That is what we are going to do. And in data acquisition, we are going to work on APIs. So let's come back to, if you come to Google, we'll be using Google Colab. So search for Google Colab and then click on the first one, Google Colab. You can directly jump onto Google Colab. Now the requirement to work on Google Colab is that you need to have a Gmail account, right? So you can create a new notebook. So what I'm doing is right now is that I already opened my Google Drive, okay, and I created a folder called MLJ Workshop. Here I can right click more and use Google Collaboratory. So it will create a new Google Colab file, which is, you can see it's untitled. Yes, it's untitled yet. So first thing is that we need to click on connect. Okay, so it will connect to Google Colab, and now the Google Colab is in working stage. If you don't click also, it will take a bit of time, but it will connect. Next step is we'll rename it working with API 01, and then if you click on file, save. Okay, if you click here and refresh, you can see it's working with APIs. So this is done. Step 1 is done. Step 2, we need to work on create an account with a website. That's what we are going to do. But before we get on to create an account, so what I'll do is that I'll try to copy the code from my other Google Colab because I don't want to. Okay, so first step is, in the first cell we are going to import 2 libraries. One is pandas, the other one is request. Using requests we can get the data from a URL, and whereas using pandas we can use a data and convert that into a proper data frames. Now you can click this play button to execute this cell. It's executed. Okay, now I want a new cell, so I can click on this plus so that it will create a new cell. That's the thing. Step 2 is we need to create an account. So click on, in Google, go to this website called themoviedb.org. Is it clear, guys? Go on to themoviedb.org, and if you click on login, yes, if you see here, login into your account, registering for account. If you don't have an account, you can click here and register. Okay, but as I already have an account, I'll log in. Now when you log in, you should see something like this. Okay, I call it as RAM for uni or something else, or RAM for students, anything else, it's your choice, whichever website. So right now if you click on this profile settings, okay, under the title you can click on settings, and you should see an API. So click on API. You will see your API here. If it's not there, it will ask you to generate it. And if it's asking you to put some project or something else, leave it empty, just enter, it will log in, or just give it test project and then it will go. Okay, so this is our API. Now we got our API. So I'll just copy this API for the time being. I'll come back to our here and then I'll click on text, and then for the time being I'll leave my API here. Okay, so right now that's done and dusted with the API. Next thing is we need to go on to the next website, because we have created an account, but we need to get the data through the other source. It's through the same related website, but it's in a different link. So how to go there? So if you search for movie database DB API, okay, so previously we created an account with a DB like this. Can you see? The next one is, one second, it should be developers. Sorry guys, you need to click on developers, movie, the movie DB. Okay, if you click on that one, you should see downloading developer docs. Okay guys, it should be developers.moviedb, and here here you can see a lot of things. Let's take, if I go for movies, here it gives all the details about the details, the accounts and all things. So right now if I go for top rated movies, if I click on get top rated movies, okay, if I click on get top rated, you can click on this tryout and you can see this. Can you see this link? Okay, you can copy that thing, you can come over here and paste it. Now if you see on the top, you can clearly see there is something called greater than symbols here. Can you see API key? So it's asking you to copy the API key. So I'll just copy this API key and paste it here, okay, in place of the greater than symbols. So this is your data. Is it like this? So much messy, we don't get it anything. So the best way, if you want to see this data, if you go to JSON, go for online JSON viewer. Okay, go for online JSON viewer and you should see something called JSONonlineviewer.net. Oh, it's not working. Okay, so I just went on to this online JSON viewer. Okay, can you see? And no, this one, we need to copy this text and paste it here. Okay, so online JSON viewer stack view, go there, in text copy that text which we got it from this API, and then click on viewer. Now the data is clear. So if you click on the results, and how many pages we have? 19 pages. Not 19 pages, I think it's 20 movies in one page. Sorry, not 19 pages, it's 20 movies. There are total 503 pages, and each page I think has around 20 movies. I'm talking of a last 503 page, I don't know, but right now each page is having 20 movies in this thing. So if you click on the 01, if you see it's a Shawshank Redemption. If you come here, this is some Indian movie. I hate that movie. The other one is Godfather, Schindler's List, and it goes on. People like it. A lot of people like it. Somehow I didn't really enjoy that movie. So people can see me like a funny bit. Okay, we're not talking about movies now. Let's get back here. So now we can clearly see that it's in JSON. It's in results. So now we got this link. So let's come back here. Okay, you can use this request. Okay, and come back here. I'm typing this. It's called request.get, and in quotes I'm copying. If you remember, we copied this request. That is a request here, and then in API key we are given that API key. Guys, please don't copy my API key, guys. I ask you, don't use it. You can create your own account, it's free. So why use my API key? Nothing will happen. But I can't use it because I think it has got some limited access of that API. So now I got request dot all those things, it's working. So if I run it, I got response 200, means response successful. So I'll create a new cell. So right now when I did it, I just tested it, it's working. So what I'll do is that I'll create a variable called response. You can call anything, and I'm going to give this response to this, assigned to this variable called response. Okay, is it clear, guys? Because I don't want this result, I want to gather all the information. So if I click shift enter, it will run that cell and create a new cell. So it's successful. So let's see. So if I just print simple response, it will print 200. That's what we are getting, but we don't want that one. We want the data in that one. So how to get the data? If you come here, we can say data equals pd.data frame, means we are using pandas now and we are converting this data frame, because if you see it's a JSON file. Okay, APIs we get JSON data, so response is a variable and we put in JSON. Okay, now shift enter, that's it, our data is ready now. So if I want to check it out, what is there in the data, I can put data head and run it. Can you see? It has got page, results and all the things. So the problem here is that it's not giving me the results information. It is giving me all sorts of information which is not needed. I just want the results. I don't want the number of pages and all the things. So what to do? So here, rather than going for JSON, okay, we'll use, can you see, response.json, but we are choosing only the results key. Can you see, only the results key. Okay, now shift enter, because we want only the results. Now we don't want total pages. Now if I run it, now we got it. It's got adult, backdrop, genre IDs, blah, all sorts of stuff, man. Now if I, gonna see, it has got everything. Okay, so it has got, is it an adult or a backdrop, path, genre IDs, ID, original language, original title, overview and all the things. So it is giving me all the information. So let's do a bit of cleaning up. Okay, so I'll just click one more thing. So if I click on here, df dot shape, right, df dot shape, if I run it, it's not df, guys, sorry. Generally, now it has got 20 rows and 14 columns, means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. The list goes on. So as of right now, we are able to work on individual page. So let's jump on to gather the whole data of 503 pages. So I may not do it in this lecture. I'll do it only maybe 10 or 20 pages because it will take some time. So, but I'll encourage you guys to work on the whole data. So how to do it? So, and other thing is that before jumping on, I don't need all this columns. Can you see backdrop and all things? I'll choose some columns in my data because I don't know what the hell is this genre IDs, ID. Okay, I mean you go for ID, but there's original title and title, all those things. So what I'll do is that I'll go for data dot column. Okay, now you may get this error. Okay, that's fine because we were using a lot of things up and down. So you just need to rerun the code. Okay, just run it, rerun it. Now here I'm getting this error. Okay, it's called columns. Now if you see here, see now how I got it. You just go onto Google and search for pandas column or something else. It will give you the data. It's columns because it's not one column. We are going for columns. Okay, so these are all the columns. So right now if you see here, I want ID. Let's take, I want the title and let's take release date. We will go for these three options. So we want only these three columns. It's up to you guys, but because we don't need poster path, we don't need the original language. If you want it, you can use it. Okay, it's in English, Hindi and all sorts of stuff. If you want to use it, use it. Okay, but I'm going to use ID, title and release date. These are the three columns I would like to go for it. So how to create, because right now this is one, but I'm going to go for 20 pages. So how I'll do it, I'll just copy the code which I already wrote it. So I come here. Here I created an empty data frame which is called DF, or else you can call it as, I'll call it as movie because it is called movies. So I'll call it as movie DF equals PD dot data frame, and then I'm using for I in range 1 to 10. So I'll go for 20. Okay, let's go for 20. Now you need to put the start frame, start page 1, because if you don't put it, it starts from 0, and by default your first page is first 1, it's not 0, so you will get an error. So see that you put 1 and 20. And next thing is response equals, I'm using the same code which we used here previously, but here I removed this 1 and then I concatenated an integer. So if I leave just I, it will throw an error because it is expecting a string, because if you see it's inside the quotes, but right now if I put I, that will be an integer. That's why we are converting that into a string. Next, I'm going to each individual page, I'm going to convert that each individual page as a data frame. So if you see pd.data frame, and I'm just giving a variable name called page data frame and JSON and results. And as I said that I don't want the whole things, I just want an ID, title and the release date. So I can copy this one, I can put it here. Got it, guys? Okay. So if you put all those things, if you see it's in double boxes, because it's a matrix, it's not a vector where we are not going to go use only one column. We are going for three columns or 4 columns for the thing. That's why we use double boxes or double, like a list inside a list and all things, a list of a list. And then I'm creating my, I'm going to use this movie DF. Okay, I'm going to movie.append. I'm appending this page, each individual page, and ignore index. So why we are doing ignore index? Let's take, I want like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like this. I don't want 0, 1, 2, 3, and then suddenly it starts from 0, 1, 2, 3 and all things. Okay, let's do it. Okay, we'll remove that one. Okay, we'll remove that one. For the time being, we'll remove. And I'm storing it back in movie df. Is it like this? If you don't put it, it will not be stored in here. So I'll run it. It will take a bit of a time because it's 20 pages, but luckily we got it. Now if you want to see movie.df, if I put shape, it's now 380 movies with 3 columns, clearly ID, title and all things. And if you want to see, I can put movie.df dot, if I don't put head, it will show me 380. Can you see? ID 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you see last movies also, it's showing 15, 16, 17, 18. Can you guys see? It should show 380 or 379, whatever the number, because it starts as 0. So that is the reason we use ignore index. Okay, is it like this? Ignore index equals true, means I don't want the index like 0. I don't want 0 to 19 and 0 to 19, 0 to 19 like this. I want it to proper 0 to 330. Now if I run it, I got 380, and then if I run it, now can you see this is the index and these are the images. Is it clear guys? Now finally you can say movie dot, not dot, it's df. You can put dot to CSV, means we are saving it to CSV file, and in quotes. Now here I'm trying to save it. Just I'm not going to show you how to access all thing. I'm just going to click on it, will save here only. It's like tempting only. Okay, so I can give something. Let's take movies database db dot csv. If you want to give the path, you need to set up mount to the Google Drive and all those things. That we will not do this session. Okay, if I run it, okay, so I just need to click on here. So now I got it. I'll just download it. Okay, because as I said, I'm not going to, this lecture we are not going to say Google mount the link. I'll just download it. So if I click here, it should have 300 and release date is something which is weird. Now it got it. Now can you see ID Fight Club, the ID is 550. This goes on, list goes on. So let's take, I'm going to delete that file because I'm going to delete it. So let's take, if I want to go for 503 pages, man, it will take a lot of time, but let's take, I'll go for 50 pages. Okay, for this lecture purpose, I'm going for 50 pages. Now run it. Yes, it will take a couple of, done. If you run the shape, you got 980 titles. You don't want the head now. I'll just run it to save to the, so it doesn't refresh. You just need to sometimes like this, then download it. Okay, see. Now I will encourage you guys to not just use these 3 columns. See the, what is this, vote average, what is vote count. Check it out, try to get the data, put that column also here. That's one thing you can do. The next thing what you could do is that if you go to a movie database, let's take you can see you need to go all into gets, not post. Okay guys, you need to go to, so let's take get popular movies. So if you want to test it, you can always go to try it. You can copy this, okay, put it on here, and then API key, you need to go back and get your API key. My API key is here. Okay guys, so I'll just put API key and run it. So this is your data, so copy and online JSON viewer, so this one, copy the text and view, and in results you can see you got Fantastic Beasts. This is, it has got vote average of 6.8 and popularity and original languages in English and all sorts of stuff. So you can look into a lot of things. Let's take rate, let's take maybe, I don't know, top rated movies. That's what we saw. Now search for some top grossing movies and all the things. Okay, but this is the basic way of accessing the data through API and getting it back to our source and saving it. Hope you enjoyed this lecture, and I'll see you soon with the next tutorial on working with API. Maybe we'll be using a different sort of API where we'll create a new API key and all those stuff. Okay guys, try to create your own APIs keys, register it and use it. Okay, take care.